Laban's house, and Laban asked her, when he was working for Laban, he said, I'm not going to make you work without wages. What do you want? He said, I will work for 7 years if you give me Rachel as my wife. And Laban said, okay, you can work for 7 years. So Jacob, he worked to have Rachel for 7 years for free. And it says, so Jacob served for 7 years for Rachel. And they seemed only a few days to him. Why did it seem only a few days to him? Because he loved her so much. Now, Rachel, she had an older sister. What was her older sister name? Who knows? Yes. Leah. Well, her older sister's name was Leah. She was Rachel's sister, older sister. But Jacob, he liked who? We loved who? Rachel. But Leah was sweet. Leah was good. She was a good person. But Jacob, he just saw the beauty of who? Rachel. So after 7 years, Jacob comes to Laban and says to him, I'm done with my 7 years. Now it's time for me to marry who? Rachel. But then, during that time, when you get married, you don't see who you marry because they're covered. Are you with me? So, Laban gives him his daughter. Jacob didn't see whom he was given. And later, after he married her, when he sees her, it wasn't Rachel. Who was it? Leah. What was he? He was strict. He was deceived. Do you remember what he did? He deceived who? Isaac. So now he worked for 7 years and he was deceived. You see what happens? There is always a cost to what you do. So what was deceived? Was it deceiving correct? No. Even though he received the blessing of God, later on he paid for his deception. Does that make sense? So Jacob goes to Laban and he says, I asked for Rachel. You gave me Leah. This is not correct. Laban told him, in our tradition, we don't give the younger while the other is the older. So our tradition is to give you the older first. Laban was afraid maybe he was thinking, I need to find a husband for Leah, so I'm going to trick Jacob to be her husband. Just like he tricked Isaac to think they're going to bless him. So, at that time, this is wrong, but at that time, they had sometimes in the wrong way 2 wives. Okay? Because it was wrong. But they did that. So Laban, he said to him, work another 7 years, and I'll give you Rachel. So Jacob worked another 7 years. So together, how long did he work? 14 years to get Rachel. After 14 years of labor, Laban gave Rachel to Jacob. Laban gave Rachel to Jacob. And so after that, he worked another 7 years for free because he was so happy because he loved her so much. He worked another 7 years, and then he was about to leave Laban to go back home. Okay? So he worked for 21 years for Laban, 14 years for Rachel's sake. He loved her that much. He wanted her that much. Alright, so what did you learn today? Mental. Yes. There is always a cost when you sin. And when you deceive, when you lie, when you do evil to others, it will come back and what? Bite you. Okay? Yes. Do not trick people. Do not deceive people. Yes. Never sin. Yes. Don't resist people because later on, if you do not repent, it will be a cost for you. Yes. Don't deceive people. Yes. Deceiving is bad. Yes. Love your enemies. Very good. Yes. Don't deceive anybody. Yes.